Okay, take a deep breath, come into present time. I'd like you to call all of your energy around you back from all people, places, and things and into this reality, into this dimension, into this year, 2014, into this month, into this week, and now completely and totally into this day. Shakti Namaste. Your energy is now collected and connected. Okay. Oh, uh, my name's Kirk, and this is your spiritual message for March 31st, 2014. And I have been praying and meditating off and on for the last couple of hours because that's what I do. I'm a natural born healer, trance medium, uh, trance medium, and an initiated shaman, and I channel from the fifth dimension um, primarily, and I also primarily channel the divine feminine aspect of God known as Shakti. Shakti. So the divine feminine energy I primarily run when I'm working divine feminine energy from the divine feminine aspect of God. People have asked me, Kirk, are you a divine incarnated being? Are you a divine being? Are you the actual avatar? Or are you just channeling the avatar? Uh, I don't know. I don't need to be any of those, all of those. Sometimes, yes, all of the above. I'm not sure. Yeah, sometimes. Repeat the message long enough and you become the message. So I'm repeating the message of the avatars of the divine feminine power, the divine feminine aspect, which is, our divine earth that feeds us and sustains us. And, the divine feminine energy is innocence. The divine feminine energy is feeds the male energy. And if you have all the yang, Y-A-N-G energy as opposed to the yin energy, which is the female. If you have only yang energy, eventually the yang energy overtakes the yin energy and it devours it. And if you have all yin energy, then the yin energy is so passive and becomes totally passive that nothing gets created as well. So there needs to be a healthy interaction, and each person has both energies within them. But I, as a healer, and most healers tend to run the energy of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is the pink love energy, the orange energy. It's the energy of animals, actually. It's the energy of innocence. It's the energy of earth. So that's why I give out the Shakti. Um, and without the divine feminine, there is no creation, and there is no balance, and there is no health, and there is no harmony. Um, Shakti no Maste. So you need both within you, and everybody has both. Um, so there you go. Shakti, Shakti. You're getting lots of Shakti today. Let's see what's going on. As opposed to doing a series, because I have my own personal chaos inside of me. Kirk, are you perfect? You know what? I just want to put it out there that I do have over 300 spiritual healing topics, spiritual vids, but am I a saint? No. I'm willing to grow along spiritual lines. I'm also in my 30th year of being clean and sober off of my primary addiction to alcoholism and illicit drugs. So let me get in. Let me just. Oh, by the way, I'd like to thank the people that are sending me emails saying thank you for your vids. Thank you. I watch your vids at night to go to sleep. I start my day with your vids in the morning before I go to work. And I'd just like to say thank you because it lets me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and what I incarnated here to do. And that's kind of like the basis subject matter topic of my talk. And I think what I'm, getting from my divine higher self to speak about today, it's actually like 6 in the evening here in New York City. If you want to talk to me, you can send me an email at my YouTube channel, Google Plus, Facebook. I have 3 Facebook pages. I have all my past episodes of my cable TV show, up to 9 years of episodes of my cable TV show are online. Most of them at Daily Motion right now. And so I'm an easy guy to get a hold of. Or write this down, kirktv@gmail.com. And I take on personal clients as a tarot oracle. I read the tarot cards. We have some tarot cards here because they're all over my house. I've been studying tarot cards for over 25 years, and I offer a variety of healing arts services from Tarot Oracle. And what Tarot Oracle is if you've ever seen The Matrix, when Keanu goes to go see the Oracle, who happens to be baking chocolate chip cookies, by the way. So she's pretty awesome. The Oracle tells you what you need to know at that time versus like a fortune teller who's like, I'm going to tell your fortune. And, I just want you to ponder that you have a TV psychic and then you have like a real healing arts professional who uses things like an esoteric system of the tarot to clarify your choices. Okay? This is pretty cool. It's like a breakthrough. It's the breakthrough card. Shakti. This is the sun card. So, anyways, so I do Tarot Oracle on up to full-scale shamanic healing. And I've been a healer for over 25 years, and a tarot reader and a student and a teacher as well. And I've been studying the tarot for 25 years. And so I do that. That is my most popular healing art services. But I also have, and I offer to my clients, compassionate listening. Because sometimes people don't want anything but just somebody to listen to them. So I offer compassionate listening on the phone or via cam to cam, via Facebook, Skype, or I'm a Mac guy. It's called the FaceTime chat app. It's 99 cents on iTunes. You can download it for 99 cents. And we just have a chat. So I have clients actually from all over the world. So compassionate listening is a thing that a lot of my clients want, in addition to like maybe a tarot oracle session and then on occasion a shamanic healing session. Let me take a deep breath and just, yeah. Okay. So compassionate listening with or without feedback. So basically I just listen and then I can either offer feedback. But the thing is that you're getting a non-judgmental space to just talk. And sometimes, a lot of times, that's extremely healing to just be heard and validated without judgment. So I offer non-judgmental, compassionate listening. Whatever's going on, believe me, in over 20 years, 25 years of listening to people's father confessor confessions and, being the sin eater to many people. Kind of the way I found out that I was like a magic shaman person, something healer at that time, was because adults and even my peers would confess things. Were like always like bearing their soul to me. That's kind of like, I think when I started to get an inclination and put the thread together of like, uh, why is this happening to me? Why are all these people coming up to me and like confessing and telling me, bearing their souls? So, that kind of like started it out. And I just had this ability, a natural spiritual gift to be like, have no judgment. And they seem to like get really, truly healed. Like just from saying, they would just like gravitate toward me and just like tell me stuff. And then they would get like freaked out. Like, I can't believe I just told you all that. I wish I had $1 for every time I actually heard that actual phrase from people. I can't believe why am I telling you all of this? I can't believe I'm telling you all this. So in my healing art services, yes, you can tell me everything, and you can believe that I just have the ability to have a non-judgmental ear to listen. And I'm not really sure how I got that, but I've always had it. And so you may want to contact me for non-judgmental, compassionate listening, with or without feedback. The feedback session is like around 10 minutes, and it's not even like, oh, this is bad, this is good. The feedback is just basically the mirror technique. If you really want to validate somebody, you do the mirror technique. They say A, B, and C, and you mirror back to them A, B, and C. And what this does is, how it adds to your mental health is either to do that for somebody or to receive that, is that your humanity and your thoughts and your feelings and your actions are validated. So anytime you're like validating somebody and their thoughts and their feelings, or having your feelings and thoughts validated, the opposite of your humanity and your humanness is to be alienated. So when you have compassion in a non-judgmental space, and then you do the mirroring technique, like if you're involved in any kind of healing at all, you don't really have to be like this big master healer with all these 25 years of studying and all of this education to validate somebody. All you really have to do is keep it simple and just be, oh, I heard what you say is A, B, and C. I heard you say this, and I heard you say that, and you seem to have some discomfort about that. You seem to really be happy about that. You seem to have joy connected to that. I mean, I'm a little more advanced at, the feedback, but I've been doing it for over 25 years. But the feedback is just the mirroring technique of, this is what I heard you say. And then, number one, it gets out of your head, the person that's speaking and trying to be heard, and you like deflate because you've been holding all this stuff inside. So, the compassionate listening can be just as healing as a hands-on, quote-unquote, cam-to-cam shamanic healing session when I'm going into other dimensions and manipulating energy on your behalf. We're releasing past lives. We're healing chakra energy points. We're releasing things from other lives. It can be just as healing to just have compassionate listening, and to, you're releasing energetically as you speak. And then when you get feedback and you get, what's the word I'm looking for? When they confess, you get, I can't remember the word. Anyways, I'll think of it in a minute. You get absolved, like somehow you're absolved in the speaking. And I do absolve. I have this priest kind of like, it's okay. And for somebody to tell you it's okay, your alienation gets less and less and less. The more that you don't have people around you to validate your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, the more and more you get stuck in your own head, and you alienate yourself, you alienate your feelings, you alienate your thoughts, and you become alienated. And you start to lose your mental health and your emotional health and your spiritual health. So first of all, in this talk. I know these are kind of scattered, but the people that actually like are drawn to my vids and watch my vids, you know, like I said, a lot of them, they make a playlist and then they just like put play. And if you can't sleep, you know, they're telling me I'm better than a sleeping pill, which I think is awesome. Okay. That's like really good. And, or if you start your day, as well, you know, I forgot what I was saying. Okay. There's so much energy going through me. Anyways, what are we doing? First of all, we're going to start and begin. We're going to have a little spiritual practice. Here's my sage. You can see, I wouldn't exactly call this a proper cauldron, but I've burned plenty of sage in this thing. Right now, it's just the repository for all the old sage smudge sticks. But if you Google search on YouTube or find Kirk TV Spiritual, Kirk Trance Medium, How to Be Spiritual, I have an entire video about building an altar and how to be spiritual. But let's just begin the daily spiritual practice or your evening spiritual practice with a little sage. And there's no big secret here. We're going to burn your sage. We're going to, you know, put a circle of love, light, and protection and power around you, that your divine higher self comes to you in peace, joy, and safety. And we're going to make the sign of the pentacle. Yes, it's not an evil thing. It's actually a symbol of protection. And here's the altar back here. So, you know, when you go to church, which I go to church and I sit in church a couple times a week. When you go to church, my church burns a lot of sage, okay? And let me just put that here. As you can see, you don't need you need like 3 leaves of this stuff. Okay, look at this. 3 leaves is more than enough, and you can buy the smudge stick at Whole Foods. It's called white sage. It comes about this big, and then they have like other packages that sell little smudge sticks like this big. So, you know, you're setting the tone. You're asking divine God and Goddess and Shakti and Shiva. You're asking Christ, the energy of Christ, the Spirit of Christ, and or the Holy Spirit, Mother Goddess, Mother Mary, Virgin Mary, to come into your space, to come into your heart. Divine higher avatars, you know, whatever you pray to, you know, be in the space with you and to cleanse the space of negative energies. And so we have that going on. And then, you know, I was born basically with like a candle in my hand. So, you know, this is stuff that I teach people in my life coaching, you know, or my empath guidance as well. Okay, and now we're holding the light, and we have like a nice smell going on. So we have air naturally in the space, and we also have fire. And we're just going to put that on the altar here. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was building an altar. Like I said, there's another video that I made called How to Be Spiritual. It's like about 45 minutes long, and it talks exclusively about how to be spiritual, how to meditate, spiritual practice, lighting sage. Here's a cool thing that I got. These are wood chips that my friend gave to me, and you just light it to have like the smell of wood, which is like cedar, and you just burn a little bit of this. I don't know where you get this. It was a gift. But I like to, you know, oh my God, the smell of like burning cedar in your home is really awesome too. So we put that on the altar as well. And, you know, don't fall asleep with this stuff burning, you know, safety first. But I wanted to talk about altars because, you know, I talk a lot about TVs and, you know, I want you to pay attention, no matter who you are, to the fact that you are, today's talk, I know you're all surprised, like, all like excited to be like, what's the talk, Kirk? What's the talk? What's the core theme of the talk? Because I get all over the place, and I get excited, and I get happy that you're going to be healed, and that you're enjoying and digging what I'm doing. let's go back to the altar. Wait a minute, just 1 second. Because the talk of the day today is that you are a soul. And while I was like meditating, I do this thing where I contemplate, I meditate, I write, I work out, and I breathe. And today was like a lot of water drinking. So, the four elements of the altar, here's the water, okay, and we can take some water. I also encourage you to pray over your water, Shakti Namaste, and to pray over your food. It brings you a better connection to yourself, to what you're taking into your body. It makes you mindful of what you're taking in. And, the scientific study, there's a scientific basis now that when you pray over something, it changes the molecular chemicals. So, for all you conspiracy theorists out there about the fluoride, pray over the water and neutralize the fluoride. Tell your body that there are harmful chemicals in actual tap water. And, so your body can then, your higher divine self can either be prepared against the impurities, or you tell, your spirit guides and God, the Holy Spirit, Buddha, the medicine Buddha, whatever you pray to please neutralize this water and make it a source of healing, love, and light that will make me strong, repair my DNA. And a lot of people do this. So, there's also this thing called the water cure where you pray over the water. And, I just think it's a good idea to pray over anything that you're taking into your body and to tell your body like that, this meat or, this water or whatever I'm taking in can have some harmful things, but I pray that those are neutralized and that now this water is a life-giving thing. If there's, the fluoride is harming my body. I don't know why we're putting fluoride in a neurotoxin and, an IQ lowering substance in our municipal water systems. And nobody seems to know why it's going in there and who's putting it in and where it's coming from. And, Google fluoridated water. It's supposedly like industrial waste. And supposedly all the fluoride that comes into the America's water system comes from China. Go figure, read about it. But anyways, let's not get sidetracked here. I encourage you to pray over the water no matter what in all liquids. And then it gets you to be mindful of what you take in. And especially like I'm trying to drink more and more and more water. So let's make a deal with me, okay, that you're make an agreement, that you're going to try and hydrate and that you're going to pray over the water and neutralize and dispel any harmful side effects of things like fluoride or, things that are in the water, and turn the water into divine healing love. Water actually is the divine feminine principle in the tarot cards, and it's a cup. It's a cup. I actually have a cup on my other altar, but here's a cup, and we cup our hands. So, and this is a form of a cup. So I'm going to take in this blessed water, and the priest, when you go to church, I do go to church a couple times a week, and I just sit there, and then sometimes like once a month I go to a service. But I usually just go in there and sit in there with the bag people in the afternoons. And, they have things of water that they've prayed over. So there is a precedence for this in religion and spirituality as well. And, you also put water as an element onto your altar. Your altar should have, all four elements. The element of water, the element of fire, the element of earth, and the element of air, or representations of those. So we naturally build altars. So before I came an initiated shaman and had my full-scale shamanic initiation, I was like naturally building altars, like as an artist. I did a lot of photography in the 80s and the 90s, and I showed my artwork in galleries. I did performance pieces, I wrote poetry, and I did this whole series of photographs of altars to love, altars to romance, altars to sex, altars to the earth, altars to celebrity, altars to fame, altars to Mother Goddess. And I have all those images, but anyways, I just want you to understand that you are a soul, and you are a spiritual being, and you are a soul that chose to incarnate here in this lifetime. And that's the main theme that I got today for our talk. And so because you are a soul that chose to incarnate, your core self is spiritual. And so the nature of the spirit is to worship and commune. And so when we're on the other side, in our other dimensions where we live, we worship this natural creator that doesn't have anything to do with religion. It's the creative divine energies of constant, like, eternal love and light. And we still worship that energy. We want to be around that energy. We understand that we came from that energy. So, and as the first things first, in a shamanic sense, in a life coach session, which I also do, the life coaching is 4 sessions a month, 1 hour a week with email support during the week. But you got to take a 1-month commitment, and it goes from month to month, however long. I've had clients that had 1 month of life coaching, and then I've had clients go up to 6 months and sometimes 9 months of back-to-back coaching for dream support, manifestation, spiritual practice, and shamanic healing as well is usually since I'm a shaman, there is some shamanic healing that goes on, shamanic healing light in the life coach. So if you want some life coaching, Shakti, namaste. I've also been reading self-help books for over 25 years. So I'm kind of like a triple threat. Anyways, so, okay, first of all, if you're starting the day or ending the day, and, what you want to do is close the day out and program the next morning to wake up in the Zen. And if you're starting the day watching this, or if it's in the middle of the day, I want you to reset. Or if you're starting the day, I want you to get on the beam and, think about the Zen of the day. Whatever that means to you, whatever that means, it's just you're going to get into the flow. You're going to stay in the now. You're going to practice your compassion and kindness. And by the way, I had a video, 27. I had a video a couple days ago where I couldn't think of like what I do in my life coaching. And, what I tell my new life coach clients is we're going to take you from the chaos, the confusion, and the conflict into the clarity and the connection. And the third thing is compassion. Shakti. And I just froze. So these are all my notes, that all my top secret life coaching things that I use, and then I'm making notes on. So your beginning of the day is, you don't have to hide if you're an empath, Oh, that's the other thing. I'm sorry if this sounds like a walking advertisement for my shamanic healing services, healing arts thing. The other thing is I offer empath guidance and empath assessment to people. And it's very helpful because what I find is empaths are the most evolved type of healer. If you've evolved into being an empath and having the mind, body, and spirit of an empath, you're one of the most evolved healers in this reality. And guess what? Most of them are hiding. And guess what else is we can't afford at this time in the collective conscious ascension over to, from a war-based, master-slave base, slave to the financial system base, on over to a collective responsibility-based, a collective connection-based economy, to a collective exchange-based economy, over from a gasoline economy over to a plant-based, services-based economy, over a chemical-based, back into a gentler body type of plant-based things that we use for our body, and away from an animal-based economy over to a plant-based, where we're not just eating animals constantly and raping the animals. So we're moving over toward all of these things. And the empaths are all hiding. And they come to me and they're like, I can't stand it. I can't stand the thought about the animals and what's happening, how much the animals are being abused. I can't stand it. And all I do is hide. All I do is sit in my apartment and take bong hits because I'm just so... I feel everything way too deeply, and I can't be around people because I know their thoughts and their feelings. And, I can't stand eating the food because it's so toxic. So these are the things I deal with in an empath guidance session. And needless to say, I'm an evolved empath as well. And so I found a way to negotiate the reality so, you don't have to hide anymore. And what we need right now is for you to not hide. You need to be visible. You need to be visible in social media. You need to be visible at work. And, stop hiding your feelings. Stop hiding your fears. Stop hiding your pains. And, start being in your own authentic energy, because that's what heals people. Is when you're in your authentic self, people around you get healed. Whether you're going to believe that or not, you are waking people up when you break the code at work in the corporate setting, and you just, not acting out, but being authentic. That's really painful to me. That it upsets me. Or actually showing compassion to people, or having empathy, or having no judgment, or being accepting of yourself and others in the corporate workplace is like it's gonna change the entire game. Like, people are just gonna be like, and aside from the fact that it's just extremely, extremely powerful when you see a person in an authentic action. An authentic action can be anything as long as it's from this like real core place. But what we do is we create these fake personas and we hide. We either like are materially, physically hiding in our homes, or hiding behind alcohol, hiding behind drugs, or hiding behind a rage attack, always attacking, hiding behind the workaholism, the alcoholism, the ism. And, when we stop hiding is when our world gets healed. So, when I heal you, I get healed. When I take an authentic action, it gives you permission to be authentic as well, and to take that mask off, the mask of the caretaker, the mask of, the workaholic, the alcoholic, the stoner. I'm from California. I was really grew up into be a classic California stoner. So let's see if I hit some of these points. The Zen of the day. See, I make notes. The Zen of the day on my talk with you. We're going to get out of the chaos, the confusion, and the conflict, and we're going to go into focus on the compassion, the clarity, and the connection. Shakti. So basically, a lot of these empaths have done the disconnect, and what I find is, remember now that the theme of today is you are a soul. You are a soul, and I need you to remember that you are a soul. Your soul can't go anywhere. Your soul is going to be with you no matter what. Shamans actually do this thing called soul retrieval, and I'm going to contradict myself. Part of your soul can be in another dimension, or, things can happen to your soul where it needs to be mended or repaired. And a lot of times, a person's, when they lose a part of their soul because they got into it with somebody emotionally, psychically, romantically, or sexually, and that person was a bad person, a part of your soul gets taken away somewhere. You feel this deep, deep loss. And, in a shamanic sense, what you're doing to heal somebody as a shaman is, I've said this in other videos, is you are turning their pilot light back on. Shakti. You turn the pilot light back on. So basically, in a very simplistic sense, I might go to another dimension to get a part of you, and to collect and connect all your other parts. I dealt with a guy that came to me for shamanic healing, and like 90% of his energy was in other dimensions because he was doing spirit walking and he was doing lucid dreaming, and just all these parts of him kind of like, got trailed off into these other dimensions. And we had to do these exercises where, we pulled all of his mind, body, spirit, soul, self into this dimension, into this reality, into this hour, into this year, into this day, Shakti. So, that could be a good spiritual practice for you as well. But you'll feel a deep soul loss by deep depression, or you could have something called the dark night of the soul, which is something different. We don't have time to go into that, but you can Google it. But basically, things do happen to your soul. I don't think somebody ever gets their soul raped out of them totally and completely, you know. But if it does, there's like this Faustian thing, about selling your soul to the devil. And really, the idea of your soul is the truth of your being. It is your true core essence. And that's why I deal with people in a shamanic healing sense of like, I need you to speak from your genuine voice. And you'd be surprised at how many people, like when I say that, and it happened to me as well. It happened to me as well. I was in a codependency rehab, and I saw people speak from their genuine, authentic voice for the first time in their lives, and it started to come out. It sounded like a wounded animal. It sounded like it was this incredible pain and grief and rage, and they haven't been using their own voice for years and years and years. So part of recovering that part of you and that part of your soul is to speak from your own authentic voice. And when I spoke from my own authentic voice the first time, it was absolute rage. It was absolute unbelievable rage. And it came out of this place that I didn't even know was in there. Oh God, that was like 100,000 lifetimes ago in this lifetime though. But anyways, back in the 80s. So when I spoke from that voice, that true authentic voice for the first time, I connected to that part of my soul that was like enraged. So speak your true voice, speak your true voice. I couldn't really stress enough how to speak from your own true voice. Okay, Shakti. But, a thing without a soul is basically a zombie. For the longest time, the Christians were like, we can abuse animals and we can do whatever we want to with animals because they don't have souls. And it says in the Bible that they don't have souls, and that's absolutely motherfucking bullshit. And anybody that says that to me, that an animal doesn't have a soul, is going to have to deal with me psychically and spiritually and personally. Shakti, okay? Because I will deal with you swiftly if you say that to me ever. Anyways, because, nothing was put on this planet or this earth for you to abuse or make fun of or humiliate. Nothing. Shakti, remember that, because I'm going to come for you, okay? If you think that's true. Wow, that's right. Enough said. So you are a soul, and the thing is that when I work with people, you see, I'm not a psychiatrist, and I'm not technically a psychotherapist. I didn't go to school for psychotherapy. What I am is I'm a spiritual healer. I'm a spirit mender and a soul healer. And, people have said to me, well, how can you pretend to be a therapist? Well, I'm not a mental therapist. I'm not a mental health therapist as far as mental health therapy goes. I think mental health therapy is failing America miserably right now because they have forgotten that they're healers and they're not healing. They're just, we're not going to get into that whole mess. The point of the talk today is that the spiritual, in my opinion, trumps the mental and the emotional. And so the spiritual is going to inform the mental and inform the spiritual and then inform the actual. Okay, what are you saying, Kirk? It's convoluted and we need to keep it simple. I don't understand. Okay, you know that this is just how I am in a life coach session. Not as scattered though. But anyways, uh, these are the things I talk about, and this is exactly the energy you're going to get in a life coach session or in a shamanic healing session. I talk a little faster, and my energy is like extremely, incredibly, uninsanely focused. It's like it is some powerful stuff coming through me. So, but so now you get the basic idea. And so, like, if you see me, you're like, I don't want anything to do with this guy. Okay, that's cool because not everybody is for everybody. Okay, I'm not for everybody. But there are people that look at me and watch my videos and like, he's my healer. He's my healer. I want Kirk the shaman to be my healer. Then I'm your healer. You know, 75% of healing is if you look at somebody and as a healer and go, they're my healer, then guess what? That's your healer. So that belief part of it is it opens up your heart and opens up your mind so the healer can get in there and we can do things to actually rearrange and reconnect and, you know, get those fragments of your soul back and get you grounded back into your body from whatever trauma and drama and abuse that you've had that knocked you out of your body. So I forgot what I was saying. Okay, it's about time's up. It's going to come out. I guess it wasn't important. What was I saying? So basically, we got this end of the day. We got you into the compassion, the clarity, and the connection. We got you to acknowledge that you are primarily a soul that chose to incarnate in this lifetime and have this experience. We got you to acknowledge your authentic voice and speak from your authentic voice with authentic action. And I even kind of showed you some authentic action today about my passion for the animals. And, you know, people, Christian or non-Christian, they call themselves Christian, that say that animals don't have souls. I, showed you some true authentic like anger and rage. And, as Mother Goddess protector that I am, and the energy of divine feminine protection, remember the females are always the most potent, fierce protectors. The females are the strongest protectors, okay? Because they have the mothering instinct. And, as far as I'm concerned, the animals are, my children, and the earth is my mother, and I'm going to protect it and do what's necessary to protect it because the animals are being abused and the earth is being abused, and ultimately our own demise of humanity is going to be from not respecting the animals and not respecting the earth. And there's a heavy price to pay for humanity as a collective soul. Is going to have to pay a very heavy price and a toll for abusing those two things. Anyways, so who is a healer? A healer is an actual healer, a light worker, but they're also, anybody can be a healer. If you just have the intention of being kind to people, you're a healer. And healers are also artists and comedians and social workers. Teachers are healers. Reiki masters are healers. Massage therapists are healers. Light workers are healers. And yes, also a lot of sex workers are healers. People that cut your hair are healers. People that bring your food are healers. So, the world is full of healers. You just haven't really been acknowledging that, the world has so many healing people in it. And, let me just roll that back and awake you on that. The world is full of healers. We just haven't been acknowledging that as such. So now you're awake on that. You've had your enlightenment. And we talked about altars in your daily spiritual practice. And dang it, I cannot remember what thought I was trying to complete when I forgot the thought. This is the way, it was something like, this is the way I am in my shamanic healing, This is the energy that you're going to get. So that's 45 minutes. I hope you have a great day. I hope you sleep peacefully and restfully. And I never know what to say on the big finish. Maybe we should just have some more sage. Burn another like piece of sage to smudge your aura. And yes, it can be transmitted electronically through the webcam. Okay? Yes, it can. That the thing was that something without a soul is actually a zombie. And that's why we're so fascinated with zombies. Because, you know, we are losing more and more and more of our souls. You know, every time you try to imitate something, I'm going to send this light out into your life. It's a very gentle and healing light. Okay? And I'm just going to send this light above you, around you, as a very general healing love energy that's non-invasive. And it's just going to restore your light as needed. Shakti Namaste. And I'm going to send it out to you, okay? As I blow it out, it's going to come into your home, into your mind, body, and spirit, and heal you very gently and safely. All right, so that's our talk for today. I can't remember what I was trying to say like 7 minutes ago, and I guess it's not important. My name's Kirk. I'm a natural-born trance medium, shamanic healer, and I offer a variety of healing art services. And if you'd like to contact me for any reason, just to say hello, give me a shout. Here's a pen. Get a pen. KirkTV, KIRKTV @gmail.com. That's actually after my TV show, cable TV show. And if you want to watch past episodes of Kirk TV or you want to see live, and give me a call at 212-245-7273, I think is our phone number right now. 11:30 p.m., channel 1997 in New York City, Manhattan. And live stream internet, 1997 on cable. Live stream internet at MNN. That's Magic Nancy, Mary Nancy.org with a social media plug-in. You can give me a call and speak to me directly on the phone. It's 11:30 p.m. Eastern. It's actually Monday today, so I am going on the show. And the topics are earth chakras and earthquakes and sinkholes. But listen, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's the talk, and that's the healing for you today. And it's my honor to assist you in and be part of your spiritual healing journey. And remember, you're a healer. You're a spiritual being. You're a creative being, no matter what anybody tells you. And you can be an authentic being all the time. And to be authentic basically is the basis of enlightenment. If you want the basis of enlightenment, basically it's being present and being authentic, understanding that your energy is, around you at all times, and that you are a soul and a spirit. Okay, you're not like a body that's like trying to find all these things and get your soul or whatever. You're a soul that chose to have this physical material experience, and I remember now. Oh my God. I remember, wait, I'm going to lose it again. I remember that as a healer, here's the thought. As a healer, that the spiritual trumps everything. So what I do as a shamanic healer, I'm not a psychotherapist, but what I do heals the mental aura. Okay, you have several auras or several bodies. You have an etheric body, you have an emotional body, you have an actual physical body, okay? And you have a spiritual body, and you have a mental body. And so what I was going to say is, I believe that the spiritual trumps everything. So, you do that like rock, paper, scissors thing, where you go rock, paper, scissors, and everybody does something, and then, wait, don't leave me just yet. The paper covers the rock, and the rock crushes the scissors, and rock, paper, scissors. There's just three, right? And then, you go, like whoever, has to take the trash out, rock, paper, scissors. All right, you do it because the scissors, you know what I'm saying. Well, you see, this is what I believe about the spiritual is I believe the spiritual trumps everything. So the spiritual is going to trump the mental. So when you focus on the spiritual, your mental body is going to get healed. Your psychic, etheric body is going to get healed. Your emotional body is going to get healed. Your thinking is going to get healed. And then also, your material body is going to get healed. So there's the thought. I reclaimed it. I found it. Goddess gave it to me. So that's the talk, and it's going right to YouTube. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments and your emails. I love you too as well. Thank you very much. And I'm sending you out all blessings of love and light, every kind of blessing in every kind of reality, in all realities imaginable, now, forever, and always. Shakti Namaste. Thank you for being with me today.